What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another MB Heritage Farm video. Today we're going to show you guys how to train your chickens to free range. So now today we are at a different location. We're at a farm that actually adjoins the land where our farm's at, so they're right here in their backyard. Now I want to thank Tom and Shannon, our friends and neighbors, for allowing me to come over on their awesome property and make this video. I'll leave all the information to their farm that you need in the description of this video. Now, I brought you guys over here today because I think these guys have the perfect setup for free-ranging chickens. I know quite a bit about it because when these guys are going on business trips or vacation, I'm usually the one that comes over here and takes care of the garden, feeds all the animals, dogs, cats, and takes care of the chickens. And I'm going to show you the ideal setup, and we're going to talk in detail what's the best way to free-range your chickens, because they definitely have an ideal setup and it works perfect. So come on, guys, let's take a closer look. Correctly training your chickens to free range is one of the hardest tasks of owning chickens, when it seems like it's the easiest of all. You can't just let your chickens run free on a property that they was raised on and just expect them to stay there all the time. There's a certain way you have to treat your chickens from the time they're chicks all the way up until they're old enough to actually free range. Now, the reason most new chicken owners fail at free ranging is because they don't understand that all breeds can't be free ranged. Now, breeds to stay away from when deciding to free range are heavy heritage breed chickens or feather leg breeds. Both of these are really slow when getting away from predators. They also don't do good in heat or out in free range situations. They're more out to dig holes and lay around and wait for you to feed them versus get up and forage. And also, chickens with white feathers or completely white are bad choices for free range situations because they will be the first chickens that aerial predators go for, just because there's no natural camouflage. Now, the types of birds you do want to seek out actively for free ranging are game breeds, flighty, lightweight chickens, and binge foragers. Now, what that means is you want to look for active chickens that love to eat, such as leghorns or Rhode Island Reds, any color but white. These types of chickens will save you quite a bit more money in feed because they love to actively eat bugs and forage. And they also have a much better chance of escaping from predators. Now, if you want to make your free-ranging journey so much easier, there are a couple of rules you're going to have to follow. Always start with juvenile chicks, fresh out of the brooder. Try not to start with chicks over 6 weeks old. Also, another big no-no is trying to start with chickens that have already been established on another farm, or just chickens you got from a stock sale that you're going to bring home and try to free-range. And now let's get into the training methods. Now, the first technique you're going to learn is about establishing a central hub for your chickens. Now, a central hub provides 5 things for your chickens: security, shelter, food, water, and a nesting area. All right, let's flip over to an aerial schematic, and you can see it's going to be pretty easy for you to construct one yourself. When you are constructing one of your own, you want to keep in mind you want to give each chicken about 2.5 to 3 square feet per chicken. You do want to line the flooring with some type of substrate to make sure that your soil levels are built back. This will help stop erosion, and it will happen if you don't do something. Another thing I want to point out that's really important is only half of your compound or central hub needs to be sheltered. The other half needs to be completely open so the chickens can have a 360 panoramic view, because this is the only way you'll be able to properly train your chickens. I'll explain more on that in a little bit, but you also want to make sure that you have an entrance in and out of the central hub, and also you want to make sure your chickens have an entrance as well. And my last tip for constructing your central hub is never use poultry wire. The stuff might hold out a rabbit, but it's definitely not going to hold out any predators. Now, before we continue, if you're really liking all the information you're getting in my videos, then you're going to love my new book, The Poultry Scrolls. The Poultry Scrolls is the only book you'll ever need to raising a healthy flock of chickens. Y'all go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below. Now, the next training method is called the 4 seasons, and it's the most important of all these training methods. This simply means once you get your juvenile chicks, they must stay inside your central hub without ever being let out for 12 whole months or 4 complete seasons. Just think of your central hub as one big giant mother hen providing all your chickens' needs from the time they're babies all the way up until they're an adult. This is where that 360 panoramic view comes in to train your chickens. They can see everything that goes on in your homestead, all the predators that come in on the ground and aerial, all of the equipment and vehicles that come in and out that they need to get used to so they don't scatter and get scared. They experience this all from the safety of the big mother hen. And once they're out free ranging, this is exactly where they'll run back to when trouble arises. Now, once your chickens has been in the central hub or the big mother hen for 12 months, it's time to let them out and start free ranging. Now, like most folks, you can purchase one of those bougie automatic chicken coop door openers, but it's still good for you to come down yourself and be present when your chickens are first let out to free range. Now, these guys here have been established and already trained for free range, and they pretty much let themselves out and put themselves back up. But when you first get started, you might realize that most of your chickens aren't going to want to come out so fast. They'll take their time. You don't want to entice them with food or treats to come out. The only time you ever want to use treats with free range chickens is when it's time to put the chickens back up. You never want to feed your chickens anything ever outside the big mother hen. Now, once you've trained chickens to a treat bag, they'll follow you anywhere on your homestead, but you only want to actually feed them the treats inside the mother hen. And the best way to train your chickens with treats is when you're going to check for eggs. Now, you're going to be doing this twice a day. Most homesteaders do. So it's a good time to feed your chickens their favorite treats during the 4 seasons training. And the only thing that you want to keep out for free ranging with chickens is a water source. You don't want to use treats or food out here anywhere and come in the middle of the day and throw scratch out to your chickens. You don't want to give them any reason to think there's food source other than inside that secured enclosure. Now, the chickens are going to come out and get food already from all the bugs and things and the worms that they dig up out of the ground, and that's the reason for free ranging. It cuts down on feed because they're out here taking care of the land, fertilizing and eating all the bad pests up. Now, if they want food, they're going to have to go back in that enclosure, and there's also fresh water there. But the only thing that I recommend having out during the day is just a regular pail of water that's really close to the enclosure. You don't want to entice your chickens to go out any further for their needs. You always want them to stay closer inside the enclosure to get their needs. Now, if you follow all the steps in this video, you will find out that free-ranging chickens is not really that hard at all. So thank you guys for watching this video. And as always, y'all keep on keeping on. We'll do our best to see you on the next one.
Just heading down to Andy's place to learn how to chicken charm. He'll teach you how to homestead me, here and you don't have to have a farm.